Good morning, babes. So today we're going to be chatting about feeling frustrated with either no desire for sex, your low sex drive, all the things. Okay, so I'm super pumped. Let me know if this really resonates with you. Let me know if you've got questions, what's your current struggles, and what are you in your head about. Hi, Oliver. It's been funny because this message has been burning to come through me every time. Like, the more I'm intimate this week, every time I get intimate, either with myself, with my partner, this message just gets louder and louder, like it needs to come through me. So I'm super excited to talk on this topic. And I know a lot of my clients that come to me, they're struggling with a very similar thing. In fact, I get so many DMs about people frustrated with no sex drive. And not all my clients are mums, but a lot of the DMs I get is from mums, okay? And obviously, no wonder why I attract that, because I'm a mum myself, okay? And I'm probably going to share things that you're probably not going to expect, okay? So stay tuned. So to me, sex drive, you're not broken. Okay, and that's the first thing I really want to share, okay? If you don't feel like sex and you don't have a desire for sex, or your sex drive is zero, I actually want you to honor that. We are taught that we're supposed to need sex, especially if you're following people similar to the people I follow that are very massive on sex. Even following me, you might pick up this belief that there's something wrong with you if you don't want sex. Now, I want to break that myth, because as my coach actually once taught me, is we all go through a resting stage. There are always going to be times when sex is just not a desire of yours. And that's got nothing to do with your relationship. It doesn't mean that you're with the wrong partner, or there's something wrong with him or her, or there's something wrong with you, or your feelings are changed. Like, stop putting a label or a story or a meaning around how much sex you're desiring, even if that's not at all. Okay, so that's just step one. Okay, let's stop thinking that there's something wrong with you and putting your pressure. Like, I see all the time with the DMs I get, all of this pressure to be like someone else. And I actually received a DM once and it broke my heart. She was copying and doing all the things she saw other women do on social media, hoping it will increase her libido, but it didn't. Now I want you to stop doing that. Just stop, okay? And then the second thing I want to share with you is the most common reason why I see people don't want sex is, and please tell me if this is you, okay? Because this was me once upon a time, okay? Especially when I became a mum. All day you're in your masculine, you're in that do energy, running around after kids, cleaning, houseworks. You might have a day job, you're at your work, which is very, normally a masculine job. We live in a masculine world. And you're doing all day long at your job. Then you come home, then you got to cook dinner, you eat dinner, then you got to clean up. You probably have to put kids to bed, okay? But then what actually ends up happening is, you probably, with your partner, sit down on the couch and you want to zone out watching TV. Then you go into bed and then you expect, or there's this expectation that all of a sudden you're going to want sex because you're going to bed together. And that doesn't even sound sexy. Like, I'm sorry, like, I've gone through that same phase, especially with my now partner, of I've been so busy and caught up in my masculinity. All of a sudden we went through this dry patch because I was doing all the things during the day, and the last thing I wanted going to bed was, just don't touch me. Leave me be, because I hadn't gotten back into my body. There was no intimacy, there was no sensuality, there was no love, there was no nothing during the day. Now, I think the statistics is 3% of women enjoy or look forward to spontaneous sex. So what that means, where men, on the other hand, can very easily be spontaneous about their sex. They can very quickly just want sex, a drop of a hat, with no warm-up. However, women are not designed that way. So if you are just expecting to hop into bed at night and then want sex before going to bed, it's probably not going to happen for you. because there are things that you need, okay? So if you don't know what actually turns you on, you're not going to feel turned on by your partner. You're not going to feel turned on, ready to go. And you need to feel open. You need to be relaxed and in your body to open up, and especially to open up your sex center, your yoni, your vagina, in order to want penetrative sex. Okay, so I want you to reflect on, what do your days look like? Are you literally just hopping into bed at the end of the day expecting to want sex? Because that's probably a good reason why you're not actually having a high sex drive right about now. Okay, so that's step 2. Step 3 is, I actually going to give you some homework that probably I don't see many people give. Take sex off the table. Stop thinking about sex. Stop wanting sex. Stop wanting to change your libido levels. Stop with the sex. Take sex off the table. Just completely, even my partner, we had struggles in the beginning of this whole intimacy thing. And because of my history with man, I actually wouldn't allow intimacy in our relationship unless I knew I wanted sex in that moment. And that was a big thing I had to heal. And he basically said, well, let's take sex off the table. So you know that intimacy doesn't have to lead to sex. The intimacy doesn't mean that we have to have sex. Okay, and that was the biggest thing for me. And I want to give that opportunity to you, is take sex off the table. But in the sense of, if you can't turn yourself on, you're not going to feel turned on in the bedroom. So therefore, you're actually not going to want sex anyway. Okay, so I want you to stop focusing on the end goal of being sex. And I want you to bring it back a few steps. Just bring it back. And how can you focus on turning yourself on? How can you focus on embodying your own pleasure just because you're worthy? Just because you're a goddess, because you're sexy, you're beautiful, you're alive. And it's your birthright to feel alive. It's your birthright to feel turned on, whether you're having sex or not. Okay? So how can you, during the day, get back into your body and turn yourself on? Maybe it's being really present when you're eating. For me, when I'm in my masculine and I've got so much on my to-do list, when I'm eating, I just stop and I savor every moment of it. Sometimes I just stop and bring my attention down to my yoni and just go, hello, beautiful. Sometimes depending on how I'm feeling, I just drop into my heart and go, I see you. I love you. And just take a few deep breaths there. Look outside and notice the green trees, the grass. Dance. Dance like nobody's watching, but who cares if they are watching? How intimate are you with yourself? Okay, so I want you to stop focusing on the sex as an end goal, but focusing on the homework as turning yourself on first. Being your own source of your own pleasure. Okay, and then what's going to happen is then you can start to notice the shifts that you're going to find in your relationship with your partner. Okay, stop waiting until you're in bed before you go to sleep, and because you're feeling turned on and you're feeling juicy and you're feeling alive during the day, okay, you're feeling so free, you're going to feel more, I don't know, flirtatious, playful. You get to message him randomly and just go, I love you. Like my partner does that to me all the time. We live together, and quite often, nearly daily, if not daily, every few days, he'll just randomly message me. I have no idea when, going, just want to let you know I love you. Like little simple things like that. We'll send flirty text messages. Like I'll tease him like, oh, do you still want sex tonight? Knowing sometimes when I say that message, even though I'm feeling so turned on and alive during the day and I'm thinking about him, I can't wait for him to get home so we can cuddle and whatnot, actually I end up saying no to sex at the night because that's no longer what I want. But guess what? I have the opportunity. I feel safe to say no to him. He welcomes that. So I get to, and this is the big thing about sex, we feel like we can't tease, we can't flirt, we can't be intimate unless we actually want sex because we can't say no. Aren't we teasing them? Like my ex, if I gave him a cuddle during the day, you know, just a random cuddle to say hello, if I said no to sex when we go to bed, he would call me a tease. I'm a player, I'm all these things just because I said no to sex because I gave him affection during the day. So look at that. Is that something that you need healing? Because in a healthy relationship, I can be intimate with my partner all day long, and we are all the time. We are playful, we are flirty, we are intimate, we get cheeky with each other, we are playful with each other. But when it comes to time with sex, we get to say no if we want to say no. We feel safe to say no. Okay, so I want you to look at, do you avoid intimacy outside the bedroom with your partner out of fear you can't say no? Because that is a level that you need to heal. Because sex starts outside the bedroom. The more you're in this mindset that sex just happens in the bedroom, the more it's going to actually affect your sex drive. Because sex is those little things. You should be having, foreplay happening all day long. The way you embrace each other, the messages you send each other, the way you kiss each other. Do you hug each other? Do you compliment each other? Admire each other, worship each other. All these little things that you could be doing during the day, no matter what's happening, whether there's kids around. Like at the moment, if you follow me, you know that my partner has three kids. I have one, so that's 4, and I'm pregnant with another. So we have a lot going on. We still make time for each other. We still do those glances at one another. He'll whisper things in my ear. He'll grab me, he'll pull me in for a kiss. Like, there's nothing stopping that. If he's at work and I'm at work, we'll still send those playful messages to each other. And that keeps us connected. And then because I'm constantly getting into the energy of turning myself on, not for my partner's benefit, for my own benefit. Because the more I tap into my pleasure, the more I open up to pleasure, the more I'm actually opening up to my receiving channels. The more I get to receive, the more alive and free I get to feel. Okay, and that's for no one's benefit but my own, because I deserve to live a turned on life, whether I'm single or not. I started this work as single. I started doing this when I was single. I started turning myself on. And me tapping into my pleasure is what manifested my now partner, which is why we've got such a great relationship, because of the energy I was in when I called him in. Okay, so turn yourself on during the day. Take sex off the table. And then just keep in mind that sex is actually happening outside the bedroom first. And that is what leads you to wanting sex in the bedroom. Okay? So if you're currently in a relationship where there's no intimacy, and you just hop in a bed and your partner wants sex and you're just frustrated with not wanting why, well, hello. If you're stuck in your head 24/7, never feeling turned on, never feeling pleasure or alive, then, babe, it's kind of like no wonder. Of course your sex drive is going to be affected. Okay? Of course. Because that's not how we are wired. We are not wired to just constantly, instantly want sex at a drop of a hat just before going to bed. Okay? Whew. I know I talked fast. Oh my God, this has been burning to come through me all week. And it's so funny because I actually had sex with my partner this morning, and I'm not actually someone that's an advocate for sex in the morning. But last night, this was really burning to come through, and I knew I was going to talk about this in this morning. And for some reason this morning, I actually woke up feeling turned on. And that never happens for me. And normally I need time to myself. Like, I'm someone that I wake up in the morning and just don't talk to me. I need to do my thing, need to have breakfast, do some dancing, get into my body, and then come talk to me. But this morning, it was the complete opposite. I woke up after not a very good sleep, and I was kind of like, I could feel my yoni and I could feel turned on. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And I kind of surrendered to my partner. And normally I just, out of habit, like, no, gross, I need to brush my teeth, I need to do all these things, you're going to work. I know it would be a very quickie, which is also something that doesn't actually excite me. And it was so funny because, like, I knew that happened to get me into the energy to really channel this message for you, because afterwards I was on fire and I did some dancing, I got in my body. And then all of a sudden I'm just like, yeah, I'm ready. I need to deliver this message. I know someone needs to hear this. And I was on fire and I was ready. And anyways, that is it for me. So if you obviously want to go deeper with anything I talked about, you know, obviously feeling free, alive, turned on in the bedroom, but not just in the bedroom, because it starts outside the bedroom, then send me a message, because I do have a spot open for a private client, and the container is for 3 months, which includes mentoring plus healing. So if that's, you know, if any of this what I spoke about today spoke to you, then send me a message and we can chat about it, okay? I love you all. Go turn yourself on today, okay? Let me know, how are you turning yourself on? How are you going to embody pleasure today?